Okay? Again. Here we go. Which one? That one? It's gotta be. Huh? Right? 8. Yeah. Okay, once more. See? That one? Yeah, this is that one. Okay? We'll try once more, all right?
Hong Kong. Hong Kong, a constant source of newspaper copy. A city of adventure and adventurers.
I'm only going to do this one job.
Men like Barney Vance, formerly a pilot for the U.S. Air Force, and now a freebooter. Services available to the highest bidder.
I told you it's a snap. They pay me good money, and all I've got to do is go up once a day, fly over their lines, and take a quick look. That's it. Practically a milk run.
On the other side. What are they going to be shooting you with? Milk bottles? For what? Some little country nobody can even pronounce the name. A bunch of crazy rebels that...
Rainey. Did I ever tell you that I'm crazy about you? Even after all these years?
I don't know. I should have my head examined putting up with you.
Irene, I don't want you to sit around that hotel every day. There's lots doing in Hong Kong. You get out and do something.
Yeah, sure. I'll read the papers. Find out how many rebel planes get shot down every day.
Cut that out, Rainey.
What do you want me to do, Barney? Go out and get loaded?
Why not?
Barney, don't go. Please. Look, they can't hold you to the steel. Honey, it's only money.
It's a lot of money. Enough to set us up back home.
You won't go home, you know that. Keep on doing this till they shoot you down. Oh, Barney, please don't go.
Bye, Rainey. I'll be back in a month. You go right now. Don't wait for me to take off, right?
have another opportunity, Joe Dar. If he survives.
Captain Bernard Vance, casualty in air battle, lands disabled plane in rebel-held territory.
You're right, Inspector. The American's wife is still living in Hong Kong. Shamrock Hotel.
Thank you, Mr. Ling.
Hello? Oh, hi, Neil. Yeah, I was just reading about it.
How well do you know this chap, Glenn?
Oh? Well, I'll have to cable home a few stories about him.
Well, I was wondering if perhaps you could,
Oh, come on, now, don't pull that cagey British cop routine with me. If you want to pump me about him, say so.
I do wish you Yanks weren't so blunt. I am rather curious about him, frankly. Could you pop in for a chat sometime today?
All righty. Let's say in about, half an hour, all right? Whenever you're this casual, I know it means serious business. Okay, I'll see you. Oh, you're wrong. If you knew Barney Vance, you couldn't really dislike him. Look, he's a man of 41 years old, and he's an old fighter pilot. And he hasn't come down to Earth since the war, and he just goes charging off into the wild blue yonder, you know, living it up like a hero.
For money.
Mm-hmm. Sure, he gets paid. But, you know, you got to remember one thing. This government he's fighting against is a military dictatorship. Now, you can't hate a guy for that. Anyway, basically, it's this. The only thing he knows how to do is fly a combat plane, so he does it.
Look, Glenn, if he gets back to Hong Kong after this performance, they're going to be waiting for him.
Why?
But don't forget that he's about 1/3 of the rebel air force. And when they find that they didn't kill him in the air, they're going to try to get him here.
What, on British territory? No, they wouldn't dare, would they?
Oh, they would. They've got quite a nest of agents here.
Well, he wouldn't be fool enough to come back here.
Glenn, in preparing these articles, you've met Vance's wife.
Irene? Sure, many times. She's quite a gal.
Oh, precisely. What he does elsewhere is no affair of mine, but if he gets himself killed in some Hong Kong alley, then it would be my affair. Now, do me a favor, Glenn. Go see his wife. If he comes back here, I want to know.
Have you already talked to him?
No. 9 chances out of 10, he told her to say nothing to the police.
If he comes back here, you're going to deport him, aren't you?
Yes, for his own good.
Well, then I think I'd better find him before you or they do.
No, that was not precisely my idea.
No, this one's precisely mine, old boy. See you.
Mr. Kivori speaking. No, sir, the consulate has no statement to make concerning Captain Vance. No. He was a mercenary fighting against the established government of our country. We have no further interest in him. You are quite welcome, sir. Uh-huh.
It does not say when he returns.
Only that he is on his way back to Hong Kong. He's a foolish man, Jonah. A foolish man. I want him found. Find him.
Anyway, the way I see it is this. It's a three-way choice. Number one, Barney comes back here and, well, let's face it, he gets bumped off. Number 2, the police ship him out of here as an undesirable alien. Or number 3, you just get together and clear out. And the last way's the best. It's cleaner.
There's always somebody who wants to help Barney away from wherever he is.
And they're the kind of people who've kept him alive so far.
Glenn, we've been helped out of too many places after one of these things. Barney doesn't want any help. He says that he can take care of himself.
Do you honestly think he can?
Sure. He was in jail once, one of those banana republics. I thought they were going to shoot him, but he got out of it when his side bombed the jail. That's how he takes care of himself. 12 years ago. He was 29.
Look, all I want you to do is just let me know when he gets back to Hong Kong.
I'd like to, Glenn. Believe me, I'd like to. I'd like to tell you and the police and have Barney sent back to the States. Believe me, I would. If I did, Barney might never talk to me again. And that I wouldn't like.
Oh, boy. I got a phone call. I'll be right back.
That's what Barney always says.
Oh, good.
When Barney comes back, you might find him at this tailor shop.
Thanks, Tully.
For what? I just want to be sure I get back the $10 he owes me.
I'll see that you get it. Tully sent me. I'm Mrs. Vance.
Inside, please. Captain Vance is waiting.
Oh, Barney. You're a big, no-brained dope.
Sure.
I can't wait to get out of here. I'm going to go tomorrow, and I'm going to get those airline tickets.
You talk too much. You always did.
You're going back, aren't you?
I almost forgot. I've got something for you. $10,000 beautiful American dollars. Yeah, you gotta hand it to those little guys. I told them to pay me American. They paid me American.
When are you going?
Rainey, with $25,000, we could make a down payment on a little ranch near Dallas.
Barney, this isn't $25,000. This is 10.
They want me back for a few months, just until the rainy season, I promised. That's why they helped me back to Hong Kong. They're gonna pay me $15,000, and this time I'll have a faster
Sure,
type.
and they'll give you a medal and they'll make you a full colonel.
Who says?
And if you live through this, then we'll have another picture of you and the boys in front of your little beat-up plane that's held together with wire.
Cut that out.
Well, they are going to make you a full colonel, I think.
What difference does that make?
Barney. Remember the night I came to your table and you said, you're too pretty to be selling cigarettes in a spot like this. Let's get married. I could have had a guy that traveled in jewelry. Why did I pick you? Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow. And you take good care of him, you hear?
Got any adhesive tape, Ye Key? Want to fix this bandage?
We'll be very happy to fix it for you, Captain.
My name is Bernard K. Vance.
Let's dispense with that military nonsense, hmm? What would you estimate the strength of the rebel forces around Metang to be? Captain, you can't possibly be so unrealistic as not to understand your position. You could legitimately be shot as a spy. You could be dropped in the bay, and nobody would care. Nobody. Except perhaps your wife.
My name is
Bernard K. Vance. Very well, Captain. We'll talk again.
Anybody here?
Hi.
Does he think I'm going to talk to you? Look, Barney was nowhere near that place. He had nothing to do with the murder, and you know it. I went into the tailor shop because I wanted to have a suit made.
What color?
Huh?
The suit you were having made. Irene, honey, look at this. This is the tailor. Miriah, alias Yi Key, former Minister of Defense and now believed center of rebel procurement effort. You were there to meet Barney, weren't you?
Oh, Clem. In a tailor shop.
Irene, who's going to bomb the jail for him this time?
They could kill him, couldn't they?
By the way, I saw your wife today. With that foreign correspondent, Evans.
Is this routine in the manual of interrogation?
She seemed to be enjoying herself.
Make the prisoner jealous. Tell him about the little woman at home. That sold hat, it won't work. What next? You bring on your beat-up boy? Maybe I'll talk to him.
Maybe you will. I think perhaps I'll enjoy this beating myself.
Struck a blank wall, Glenn. Not a trace. And no city on earth can swallow up people the way this one can.
You know, I always thought Barney Vance would end up with something of a bang. Not in some stinking alley with a knife in his back.
Let's go see our good friend Tully. There's even one rumor afloat, he'll have it.
Don't bother, Neil. I've already seen it. Nothing.
see a ring like that?
Sure, it's a U.S. officer's ring. Why?
A beggar found it on the sidewalk. One of our men saw him pick it up. Under the rear window of a consulate. That's right. The government Vance was hired to fight against.
You were right, they did dare, huh?
They'll keep Vance as long as they want him, and when they've finished with him, no one will ever see him again.
What are you going to do?
I can't do anything till I'm certain he's there. Unfounded accusations against a foreign consulate can be extremely embarrassing.
Yeah. Hey, you can't just walk in there.
No, I can't, but,
Oh, but I can, huh?
they're very cordial to the press.
Well, how on earth am I going to make sure he's there? Well, it's up to me.
You don't have to do this, Glenn.
Well, I guess it's all part of a good story. Okay. See you. By the way, if I don't come back, Sherlock, you know where to start looking, huh? Hiya, Barney.
Oh, Glenn, good to see you.
How are you, buddy? Look, I was looking all over town for you. I'm doing some technical flying stuff on a story. I wondered if you could help me.
Well, I'd like to help you, Glenn, but I'm doing some consulting work for the consulate here. Maybe later.
Well, it's just that I've got a deadline on this thing, you see. But what about lunch right now?
Sorry, old pal, I don't have time. I'll see you around.
Listen, Barney. You know your wife's worried half to death about you. You know the cops are looking for you.
Well, tell them to stop looking. I'm okay. Everything's fine.
Good morning, Mr. Evans. It's always a pleasure to meet a representative of the press.
Where's Neil Campbell?
What's the matter? Is he lost, too?
Oh, come on, Tully. I called his office, and they said he was coming down here.
Well, he was, and he did. And he asked me a bunch of questions, and I gave him a bunch of answers. He left 5 minutes ago. You want a drink?
What? No, a phone.
On this, I don't make a dime.
You're making a fortune.
Yes?
Hello, Irene? This is Glenn Evans. Look, can I come to the hotel and talk to you?
Look, I can't talk to you now, Glenn.
It's about Barney. Hello? It's about Barney. I saw him half an hour ago.
Look, Glenn, I can't talk to you now. Call me later.
Where'd you see him? Is he okay?
Thanks for the phone.
Sure, anytime.
Don't do it.
Do what?
Meet Barney. Well, it wasn't exactly hard to figure, you know. You didn't sound exactly surprised when I said I'd seen him. You talked to him, didn't you?
It's not true.
Well, who'd you talk to? Somebody from their consulate? Look, you're here to meet somebody, and they're taking you to Barney, right?
Look, Glenn, what's in this for you? A newspaper story? Why don't you just peddle your paper somewhere
I'm
else?
just trying to save you from sticking your neck in a trap. Now, you're going to meet Barney, aren't you?
Glenn, go away.
Don't you realize they're using you? Don't you realize you're going to make things worse for Barney?
Okay. If you won't go, I will.
Look, wait a minute. Whatever they want from Barney, they're just using you to get it.
Who sent you here? Your English cop?
Nobody sent me here. Please don't do it. All right. I'll wait here with you. You're meeting somebody, so am I.
Okay, Glenn, you win. You got your car?
Mm-hmm.
You want to drive me back to my hotel?
Mm-hmm.
You're not a bad guy, Glenn. Everything considered. Forget it, Glenn. I'll be all right.
Honey, you're a wise girl.
You know, you missed your profession. You should have been a salesman. I'm going to go upstairs and get some rest. You approve?
I approve.
Do come in.
What are you doing?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh.
I do this once a day for 15 minutes. It restores my equanimity. You should try it sometime.
My equanimity is fine. In fact, I'm going to buy you dinner tonight at Tully's.
Well, that's extremely generous of you, old boy.
Yes, and there was no need to quiz him. I told you he had no information.
That's true. But, you know how it is. The police department can't leave everything up to you reporters. We have to check up ourselves once in a while. You know, appearances.
15 minutes, huh?
Yeah. Feet up.
Oh, yeah.
May I loosen your tie?
No, fine. Sit down.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, by the way, I've just taken Mrs. Vance back to her hotel. She was about to take off.
And you convinced her not to?
Exactly.
I thought you might have. One of our men followed you. We'd hoped that Mrs. Vance would lead us to her husband, but you have messed that up completely. When you took her back, she went into the lobby, watched you disappear in the car, and then came out of the lobby again. Unfortunately, our man lost her in a shop on Vedder Street.
Well, I'll be Well, I meant well.
I'll pave that road with your good intentions.
You know, if she originally went to a waterfront dive, the possibility exists that she was going somewhere by boat.
I agree. I've alerted the Marine Division to keep a close watch on the harbor.
So she sold me a bill of goods, huh? She never intended going back to the room.
Evidently.
Oh, I thought I understood women.
One can always learn, old boy. Even at your age.
Oh, you big lug.
What are you doing here?
I mean, what am I doing here? You asked me to come, didn't you? You said you needed me.
Who told you that?
Why, I thought that...
Hey! Hey!
And I called you a dope. Well, nicest jail I've ever seen.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Rainey. Wait just a minute. Let's not jump to conclusions.
Okay, I'm willing.
They made me a promise. I told them, you guys hold up your end of the deal, I'll hold up mine. When she gets to Dallas, she'll cable me and I'll talk. I even let them trade me in front of Evans. I know how it is. They knew that you wouldn't go back to Dallas unless you heard it from me. They knew you wouldn't go home unless I told you to.
Barney, you look tired.
Rainey, will you listen to me?
I am listening.
Look, really.
Look, would you just tell me that you love me?
I'd feel better if you got out of Hong Kong. Mrs. Vance is ready to go ashore. I told her how we were going to work it. When she gets to Dallas, she'll send a wire, right? We made a deal. Let's stick to it.
Captain Vance, you're a perfect victim of your country's romantic fiction. The eternal patrol leader. Sit down, Captain. I want some answers to some questions. Once more, Captain. Where is the airstrip you took off from? Must be tiresome being married to a hero.
Barney. Barney.
That's right, sir. One of our men saw a member of their consulate returning to shore. A freighter, sir. A South American registry. Well, I'd like to board, sir, with permission to search. Well, she's anchored outside our territorial waters, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. I know, sir, but the matter's quite urgent. A man has been murdered, and our only witness may be aboard that ship. Yeah. Well, very well, sir. I'll wait.
Look, I understand everything you said, but I think it's ridiculous. Why can't we?
The ship is on the open seas. We can't search it without permission. And they won't give us that authority without more evidence than we have.
You know Barney and Irene are on board that ship. You ruddy well know it.
Perhaps. Even probably, but I can't prove it.
Don't the authorities realize that Barney is a witness to a murder?
Yes. They realize that probably.
And don't they realize that with Irene on board that ship, there's another charge, kidnapping?
Nevertheless.
Nevertheless, you can't act on a mere presumption.
Precisely.
What would happen if you were absolutely positive that Irene and Barney were on board that ship?
Well, in that case... No, you can't.
Can't what?
Take off on your own. Glenn, there are certain areas of investigation that are not open to newspaper men.
Is that so? Well, it just so happens that up to now, I haven't found one.
Hello, Hollis. Is the name Mary Hollis?
Oh, come in, Hollis.
Blimey, this is a posh flat you got here.
Thank you.
Must cost you a lot of rent. $25.
Oh, wait a minute. Tully said 15.
Yes, but Tully didn't tell me what a nice place you've got.
Oh.
Cool, you should see my dump. And I don't think the other 10 will hurt you much.
Take a seat, Harry.
Thank you, sir.
Now, you sailed on the San Pilar, right?
Not right.
Well, Tully said you did.
Now, sir, I sailed on the Antonia maybe 15 times. Now, she's a sister ship to the San Pilar. New?
Very high polish. It scratches easily, Harry.
Now, They were built at the same time. And the setup's the same.
I see. Now, look, I'll tell you what I want. I want the exact location of all the passenger cabins. I want to get on board, find out where a couple of people are, and then get right off again, okay?
$25.
$25.
You know, I'm not as young as you. I got to make it while I can.
Quite understand, Harry. $25, that's 146, 150, Hong Kong.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Now, let's see. There are 4 passenger cabins on the main deck.
Yeah.
The officers' quarters are further aft. Here, you got a piece of paper?
There we go.
That's all.
Ah, let's see now. Now, this here's the main deck, see?
Yeah.
Now, there's a passageway comes in here. Now, there's 2 passenger cabins on this side and 2 on this side.
Billy, Uncle Captain, throw him a kakara.
Wait, you tell that Mr. Kabori that the police know that my wife came aboard this ship.
What do you mean, please? I can't do this. You're going to be in big trouble. Good evening, Mr. Evans. Did you wish to continue our interview?
We'll be leaving shortly, Mr. Evans. You will be returned to Hong Kong after we have reached our destination. Micro will see to it that you do no further swimming.
You mean you're really going to let me print this story?
Why not? Captain Vance will be taken back to our country and tried in a legitimate court of law.
And convicted and hanged.
No. Shot.
It also removes him as a witness to a murder, doesn't it?
It removes him as a dangerous spy and saboteur.
Oh, I see. What about Mrs. Vance? You're going to release her, of course.
Mrs. Vance will be tried on a lesser charge. Aiding and abetting is the Western legalism, I believe.
You're going to make a big publicity stunt out of this, aren't you?
trial, all the international trimmings. You know very well she had nothing to do with this. But the female angle's going to keep you on the front page, is that it?
I'm going to have some tea. Would you like some?
I'm not thirsty. What's going to happen when I print the truth?
The truth? There are two kinds of truths, Mr. Evans. What your people want to believe, what my people want to believe.
Mrs. Vance couldn't be called an accessory by any definition of law.
Mr. Evans, how much are you paid for a leading article in one of your magazines? 1,500 to 2,000, isn't that about it?
Go on.
How would you like to do an article for one of our publications? The fee? 10,000. Cash. Subject your own choosing. I might get our people to go higher.
What about 15?
Perhaps.
Okay. You must really like murder stories.
Sure you don't understand English? Huh? What would you do if I made a move for the gun?
Sabaka. Sophie, Sabaka.
You never picked a lock before, did you, Barney?
What's the difference? It's always the first time. Listen, I've been in tighter spots than this.
I know.
Rainey?
Look, Barney, why are you always in there pitching? I don't need a guy with an oversized chest mat.
I'm a big blowhard, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like he says, patrol leader, big hero. I had 2 cents worth of brains. I'd tell him what he wanted to know. We could be on our way home.
Fat chance.
Well, why not? I was doing this job for money. If he'd paid me, I'd have been on his side, wouldn't I?
I don't know. You tell me, Barney.
Okay, let me have another hairpin. At least I'll be doing something.
Here.
This one this time, huh? This one? This one? Yeah. You're pretty dumb, aren't you? Huh? In fact, you're an ape, huh? Ape? Okay. Do once more, huh? Very simple. You watching? Which one? That one? It's gotta be, huh? Right? Ape. Yeah. Okay, once more. See? That one? That is that one. Okay? Try once more, all right?
I almost had it, Rainey.
Yeah, I know.
That was really bright sneaking out of that hotel. Hi, Barney.
Hey, out there, I want to talk to someone. This is Captain Vance. I'm ready to talk if anybody wants to listen.
You wanted to speak to me, Captain?
Yes, I wanted to see you.
He told me he'd tell you everything you want to know.
Now, that is sensible.
Don't move and don't call out. We're going back to Hong Kong. You give the orders, we'll be right beside you. Radio Shack first. Let's go.
Very dramatic episode.
This one's gonna work, Kabori.
You're going to be taken to Megong and tried for your crimes. Your wife will be tried as an accessory. If you'd like to make a full statement of all your activities now, the court might take that into consideration. I would recommend that you...
Whoever that is, you tell him you're coming out with a gun in your back. So you tell him.
Imhamara, Wangarum.
Imhamara Istinira. Darelung.
Eastern Crinto, ma.
Tell him to drop the gun.
Oxtier.
Can you work the ship's radio?
It's a great pleasure.
Sure, I'll take him. You phone Inspector Campbell and tell him we got the positive evidence he was looking for. Let's go.
Here we are, folks. Tully specials. You? And yours are on the house? Yours we put on the tab like always?
Tully, when am I going to get a drink on the house?
When you get deported.
Cheers.
Well, Barney, what are you going to do when you get back?
You know everything about everything. Why don't you tell them what they're gonna do?
All right, I will. Let's see, you're going to take a nice little place right outside of Dallas, and everything's going to be just great for about 6 months. And then Barney here's going to get a little edgy, and I give him about 1 more month after that, and then wild blue yonder.
You're slipping, Tully.
Maybe.
And you think I'm going to tag right along after it, don't you?
You tell me, honey.
Now, there's our escort. It's time to break up the party.
So long, Glenn. I'll see you in the States sometime.
Oh, hung, no, buddy.
Oh, huh?
Oh,
Goodbye, Glenn, and thanks.
Goodbye, honey.
So long, Confucius.
you know, she should have had a couple of kids. That might have kept them tied down.
Maybe that's why she didn't.
Now that there's nobody watching, what about a drink on the house?
Why not? I think I'll join you.